Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight. Stuck at the workplace today. Didn't get a chance to really check out Monday Night Raw. Honestly, don't really know the big appeal of it tonight. I've heard that there's a main event of Rollins versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Universal Championship. That honestly sounds like a match to check out. But the big news coming out of Monday Night Raw is that Goldberg, the rumors from yesterday are true, that he is going to be at the Royal Rumble 2017. Make sure that Stevie Breach doesn't screw that up like he does every year, where he forgets the year that has changed when it rolls around come New Year. But my buddy Zach and Luke always get a good joke out of that. It takes me a good couple of months before I can start labeling Monday Night Raws and pay-per-views 2017 instead of 2016. But honestly, when I heard that Goldberg was going to work the Royal Rumble, I thought they were going to go with the main event of Goldberg versus Brock, and then have your big Royal Rumble match. I didn't think of Goldberg actually appearing in the actual Royal Rumble. I was thinking that they were going to start a new sort of count of matches, not counting the WrestleMania 20 match, even though it was brought up during the storyline build-up to Survivor Series 2016. I thought that honestly what they would do was have Goldberg lose the next match at the Royal Rumble and then have WrestleMania be the end-all be-all match. Goldberg saying that he's actually going to appear in the Royal Rumble itself sort of makes it seem in storyline that he is separating himself from Brock Lesnar. Honestly, in my opinion, we saw how short the match was at Survivor Series. They did say that it was not due to injury. This is where they were going to sort of keep us fired up for Goldberg by him winning the match so fast against a guy in Brock Lesnar that we'd seen annihilate anyone that stepped in his path, from John Cena to Triple H to Shawn Michaels, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns. The list goes on, and guys, even The Undertaker. I don't know how I didn't bring that up. He beat the streak, the biggest match that Brock has won since coming back from the UFC. He's beaten everybody that's been in his path. It seems that Goldberg is now on a quest to see how far he can go in WWE. Stephanie's asking if he has one more run left. Goldberg is saying, "You bet your ass I do." So this is going to be a big one. Goldberg going into the Rumble, honestly, in my opinion, I got to go back to the WrestleMania 20 thing. The build-up of Brock versus Goldberg was that you could tell that these guys really wanted to have a match against each other. They really wanted to, they kept on sort of muscling up against each other to the build-up to it. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin gave Goldberg tickets to the No Way Out show. Goldberg showed up during the main event, sat front row, and then inserted himself into the match, and that made it where Eddie Guerrero was able to capitalize and become the World Heavyweight Champion by beating Brock Lesnar. Honestly, I wasn't really watching wrestling at the time, but I was reading the wrestling magazines at work on my lunch or on the end of my shift, waiting next to the time clock. And I remember seeing that they were going to go with Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar and thinking there was no way in hell Eddie was going to win that match. And if you were going to give Eddie a main event match in WWE, why would it be against the biggest, baddest guy that's just going to monster over him? I just thought that it was a throwaway pay-per-view to get you to WrestleMania, and what do you know? Eddie won. Ate my words there. But I wouldn't be surprised if Goldberg is in the Royal Rumble and then Brock Lesnar shows up not even as a participant, just that, we don't really hear from him at all, and he comes running down and jumping in there. Brock being in the actual Royal Rumble has been a wet dream of mine for a while. I've been thinking that he was going to win the Rumble a few times, and he hasn't even been in it. I think he wrestled at the Royal Rumble a few years ago in that three-way match for the championship where it was Rollins, Brock, and Cena. I think he had a match against Big Show the year before that. I can't remember if Brock did anything at the Rumble last year. I don't remember him being in it, though. I don't think he's been in the Rumble since coming back. I think they've kept him out of there just because of the fact they don't want to see him be eliminated, and they don't want to do the goofy thing that they've done like with Mabel or other big guys in the past, where it takes 9 guys to sort of jump on the guy and throw him over the top. It is what it is with that one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Brock runs down, starts a fight with Goldberg, and that's what gets us to WrestleMania 33 Goldberg versus Brock, the end-all be-all match. Let's see who the bigger, better man is, and we'll go from there. So that's what I think about Goldberg going into the Rumble. I don't think he's going to win it. I think they're just going to set up Goldberg versus Brock for WrestleMania. But there's going to be a lot of hype between now and then. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see this guy again until maybe the last Raw before the Rumble. But you never know. We'll see what goes on with Goldberg.